Welcome to the 2021 edition of the Soil Revolution Conference. Adrian, if you want to get my slides going. My name is Lauren Kolb, and I am the Senior Agricultural Program Manager for the City of Boulder's Open Space and Mountain Parks Department, and I'm also the MC for today's conference. I am pleased to see so many people that look relatively excited to be here. And as a representative of Boulder, I also wanted to acknowledge that for the first time, okay, can't believe it. This is a hybrid event. So we have an audience that is probably relatively excited to be streaming from the comfort of their home or office. So I want to welcome them as well. I know there's a lot of competing demands for your time and attention and resources, especially this time of year, and we're honored that you chose to spend the day with us here, whether it's in person at the beautiful JCC or at home. I wanted to recognize the other members of the steering committee that worked so hard to bring you this event today. Christine Newton from NRCS, Adrian Card in the back from CSU Extension, Trent Kisher from Boulder County Parks and Open Space, and Vanessa McCracken from the Longmont and Boulder Valley Conservation Districts. You guys. As you can imagine, putting on a conference together during the past year has been a real roller coaster with COVID cases and mandates and just everything changing kind of rapidly and unexpectedly. And so it's been a lesson in flexibility and making backup plans, and then backup plans to the backup plans, and then we keep going. So I wanted to thank my colleagues for all their hard work and determination. Speaking of backup plans, you might have noticed our program has changed a little bit today from what was initially posted on the website. Bob Quinn, one of our speakers, unfortunately came down with COVID-19 last week, so he was unable to travel to be with us today, but hopefully he's watching virtually. Hi, Bob. And we hope to see him next year, so speedy recovery to Bob Quinn. I'm so glad that we've been able to do an in-person conference. There's just nothing like being with other people, right? Everyone here needs to do their part, though. I want to make this conference memorable for the wonderful speakers, thought-provoking content, and not because it's like any kind of super spreader event. So as you may be aware, Boulder County has an indoor mask mandate. And so unless you're actively eating and drinking, if you could remain masked, that would be fantastic. The speakers up here, including myself, are at least 12 feet away from the closest audience member, so per those same Boulder County public health rules, the speakers will remain unmasked to aid in our listeners at home, and then also so you can see people's facial expressions and read lips if that's how you can understand verbal communication as well. I made that myself. This conference is meant to have a big impact but small footprint, and it's a zero waste event. So we hid the compost and recycling and trash can in the back corner over there. If you could just take the extra second to make sure that the items end up in the correct bin. Organics end up in the green bin. The clamshells, foil, cups, like the plasticky cups, I think, well, just check. But please sort them so that I don't have to go in there and sort them myself. Zero waste. This is actually my favorite part of starting the program because it shows how deep and broad the support for soils, farmers, and this conference is in this community. Sponsors enable us to bring you great speakers and make this event affordable for the day. So I'd like to acknowledge our platinum sponsors this year, and we have 3. First up is Colorado Corn. They're also in the back. They're a new platinum sponsor this year, so thanks for supporting us. We also have Boulder County Parks and Open Space and City of Boulder. Boulder Open Space Conservancy is supporting at the gold level this year. We're glad to see them and their support for open space extend from trails to agricultural lands, so thank you, BOSC. Colorado State University Extension and Revolution Soil and Seed both came in as silver sponsors this year, and Revolution Soil and Seed also has a table in the back. And we have 8 bronze level sponsors this year: Northern Colorado Water Conservancy District, Green Cover Seed, and City of Longmont, Rocky Mountain Farmers Union, A1 Organics, and Buffalo Brand Seed. And our 2 long logos, Hume Alpha and Indigo Ag, also coming in as bronze sponsors. For those of you streaming online at home, on our website, soilrev.org, we actually have our sponsors listed at the bottom, and each of those logos has a hyperlink to each sponsor's website. So please take your free time today or in the future and just click around and see what each of the organizations are up to. Also on our website, we have a great collection of resources for you to explore. At the top of our homepage, we have a little word that says resources. You can click there, and just keep clicking. It'll take you to this carefully curated set of resources done by Christine Newton that will help you move you along on your soil health journey wherever you're starting from. So feel free to check those out. Some really great links in there. This is fun. Get out your phones or your tablets or laptops if you brought them. And folks at home, please find your way to menti.com. You can also, for folks here, you can scan the QR code on your table. We'll get you the same place. And this is really our polling software. It's a way for us to stay engaged with you, to learn a bit about you, and then get your feedback on what you're hearing. So menti.com, and then enter 4276 4079. We're going to switch over to that software. Don't worry, the same information will be on that software too, so if you just don't get it in time, we'll help you out. All right, so this is kind of a, just to make sure it's working so we can keep track of how many people respond. Wow, people are really nailing this question today. So I don't know how many people are here but I'm gonna just wait. If anybody's having a problem, just raise your hand and somebody can come around and give you a hand. Oh, haha, yes. Thank you. The question is, what is a Wi-Fi? It's JCC guest. There's no password or anything, so just find that network and click on it, and you should be able to get to it. What else? While you're doing this, we have a book swap table. I think there's a book on there. If you brought a book to book swap, you can do that, or just take the book Vanessa brought. And then also, just wanted to mention this event is being recorded, and we will post that to our YouTube page. So if you missed something today, or you have to duck out for a second, and you want to go back and revisit something, we'll have it there for you. Okay, so how many people answered? 50-something? All right, let's go ahead. Okay, which describes you best? This is really important because we're going to be able to stratify all of the answers that you give today by however you identify yourself. So we want to know how farmers are answering as opposed to my boss, as opposed to students or soil health enthusiasts. So please pick the category that best describes you. Okay, we got one input supplier, great. I'll let that roll for a little bit. I want to talk about our great drawing that we're having today. It's not a raffle. You were given a ticket at your check-in. Please hold on to that, because if you stick around till 4:30, we have a great raffle. Great, not a raffle, sorry. And we have all these fantastic books. This one won a National Book Award, The Worst Hard Time. Daniel Mays is going to sign a copy of the No-Till Organic Vegetable Farm, so this is going to be worth a lot more than what its list price is. So yeah, got to be present to win. All right, we'll go to the next slide. In which county are you based? So we have some choices. I'm sure Boulder is one. Larimer, Weld, Jefferson, Adams, Denver, other Colorado County or outside of Colorado. Thank you. Well, I can't advance these anyway. You have to do these. Okay, yeah. Thanks. Awesome. All right. I think you can, we'll let Adrian get to the back. We'll go to the next question. What do you produce? And this is actually a multiple choice. So you can pick multiple answers if you're growing multiple things. Okay, so it seems like veg crops. We got a lot of those producers here today. That's great. So curious about what other is. You want to?
Flowers in your garden for pollinators.
Oh, pollinator. Yeah, I'll take that. That's great. Pollinator habitat. Christmas trees. Oh, how do we leave that off? We'll do that next year for you, Elizabeth. All right, we'll go to the next question. Which soil health principle is the most difficult for you to implement? And this one you can only select one, so. So it looks like everybody can keep the soil covered. Minimizing soil disturbance and integrating livestock into fields seem to be posing a challenge. So hopefully John and Daniel can speak to that. Great, and we'll go to the last question before our keynote. What is the greatest barrier for you with this soil health principle that you answered in the previous slide? So time to learn and implement, money to implement, trust that it will work and have a clear return on investment, labor to implement, climate, and then water. They seem pretty even across the board. All right, labor. I know Daniel's going to speak about this. This is going to be good. All right. Okay, well, thanks for participating. We're going to keep revisiting menti.com, so leave that browser open. The other thing I want to mention is this is actually how we'll collect your questions for the speakers. So as you hear something today during the presentation, you can use Menti and type your question in, and then we'll aggregate those questions, and then during the Q&A for each for our speakers today, which is about 10 minutes per session, we'll work our way through those questions. So I'm excited to use this technology instead of those note cards. But if you need a note card, hopefully you got one.